Right here with President Trump and basically what I would call the Avengers of the Alabama political universe here. Let's start. Jalen Milroe, you're a big football fan. How incredible has he been so far tonight?
Well, he's been great. The team has been great. And I don't know, Georgia's just off a little bit. Nothing is ever over. You know that.
Yes.
But they're certainly playing great. He looks fantastic, actually.
Actually, I think they could use Herschel.
Well, that was not nice to mention that while I was standing here. And I'm still going to vote for you, President, even though you said all those good words.
Well, you know, you're in Alabama. You've got Katie Barrett, whose husband played at Alabama. You got Senator Tuberville. You got Senator Daines all over the place here. When you came down the staircase 2015, you said your primary campaign was about people coming across the border and the fact that they were sending dangerous criminals. Numbers came out. Over 400,000 criminals, 13,000 murderers, 15,000 rapists. You know who hasn't covered it? New York Times, CBS, Washington Post, all the people who criticized you. Were even you stunned by how big those numbers were?
Well, I knew they were big, but nobody thought they could be. 435,000 criminals, 13,099 murderers, and nobody's ever had anything. And they're released into our country. Nobody knows who they are. They weren't checked. They weren't vetted. You would have done that, but they aren't vetted or checked or anything else. And it's so sad to see. And you know what? This is a disqualifier for her. It's just a disqualifier for Harris. You know, when you say Harris, nobody knows who she is. But this is a total disqualifier for Kamala, and she shouldn't even be allowed to run. It was her policy that allowed this to happen. This is an invasion of our country like nobody ever thought, and nobody could have believed. You know, numbers like that, those numbers have never been released. Murderers. Somebody in there said, we got to release them because it's going to destroy our country. How they got released is, in a way, it's a miracle, because they've never been released. Think of it, 13,099 murderers, and these are convicted killers, and they're now roaming around our fields, our streets, our cities, our towns, and it's going to be trouble for a long time, and it's all because of Kamala. She is the worst border czar. She said she's not a border czar, but she was in charge of the border no matter how you want it. And then I see her the other night, it was a disgrace. I see her the other night, and she's up there saying what she's going to do. And you just say one thing to her, why didn't she do it? To me, that's the phrase, why didn't she do it? So it's disgraceful. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. There's no country in the world where that could have taken place.
She's asking for a promotion now, and she's failed at everything she's done. I'm sure you saw the ad she ran saying that she would fix the border. It maybe is the most dishonest ad any politician's ever run.
Well, she's a very dishonest person. She said she worked at McDonald's. It turned out to be a lie. You know, that's a simple little thing, but it's almost better than a big, complex web. She said she worked at McDonald's at the French fry. Oh, it was so tough. She never worked there. She lies, and what she's lied about really is the border. She had nothing to do with it. She actually hurt the Border Patrol. Every Border Patrol agent has supported me. And they said I had the best border. We had the best border we've ever had. 4 years ago, we had the best border we've ever had. Now we have the worst border, I think, in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this.
Tuesday, J.D. Vance is going to take on Tim Walz in the vice presidential debate. I don't know if you saw it, but Tim Walz said Democrats have taken back football from Republicans. This stadium, I saw him put you on the Jumbotron. I would dispute that pretty aggressively. How do you think JD's going to do, and what do you think about the argument from Tim Walz that Democrats are the ones who are football fans?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you saw it, but he was at Michigan today.
I did see that.
He got booed out of the stadium.
Yes.
And if you saw the hand that we got, it was a little bit different, wouldn't you say? No, he's this guy. That was a big mistake. I think it was a big mistake. Now, we'll see what happens on November 5th. I think it's going to be the most important day in the history of our country. That's going to be the biggest election we've ever had because our country's going bad. They have, I used to say they are destroying. They've destroyed our country, and we're going to bring it back.
Today we had kids, Alabama, Georgia. We gave them a Kamala hat and a Trump hat like they do when they decide when they're recruits. Everybody we asked was putting on the Trump hat. I think you're going to kill it with young kids, college kids, in a way that you haven't before. Do you feel that momentum?
Well, we see it, and we see where we're way up with young people, and generally Republicans, including me, and the last time I was okay, but I wasn't great. We're up by like 30 points with the young people, so that's an honor. Look, they see what happens. They're very smart, and look at the way she berated them. She said they're not smart. They're much smarter than her, I'll be honest, but I think we're going to do really well. There's an energy. We did great in 2016. We frankly did better in 2020. The most votes ever gotten by a sitting president by far. There has never been energy like there is now. And I guess it's me, but you know what it is? It's also when they look at what's happened to our country is going bad. Our country is a very dangerous place right now. When you look at what she's done at the border, it's a very dangerous place. But we love our country, and we're going to turn it around, and we're going to make America better, greater than ever before.
Last question. You came here in 2019. You saw Joe Burrow, Tua. It was an incredible game. For someone who has never been to a big college football game, Alabama all over the SEC, what are they missing? What's incredible about it?
Well, I've always heard the expression big-time college football. And I guess, NFL is great, but we have 125,000 people today. You have Herschel standing right behind. You talk about, they did ballads to Herschel, the Ballad of Herschel.
Yes.
Nobody like Herschel. But big-time college football is as big as the NFL. I mean, some people want to watch that as opposed to the NFL. And I don't know what they're doing with the kickoff return in the NFL.
It's a mess.
And I don't want to get involved in controversy, of course, but it looks so bad. And I noticed they haven't done that in college, and they shouldn't do it. And I think the NFL should go back. I mean, maybe it's a little more dangerous. I doubt it's any more dangerous. It is, it's football. I think they made a terrible mistake in doing that. But you look at this, they haven't. It was the first thing I was looking at. I said, have they done it? They haven't. It looks so strange. And you don't take something that's working and change it. But this is really big-time football, and it's great to see.
I know I said last question, but Tom Brady's a friend of yours. He's calling games for Fox Sports now. How do you think he's done in the booth?
I think he's done really well, and I think he's going to do well, and he's a winner, and he's a champion, and has a lot of people that are jealous of him, so they're always going to say, no matter how well he does, they'll say as negative as they can, but I think he's doing fantastically well.
Well, you're going to do fantastic, a little over 35 days. We know you're going to win. I know Katie Britt. I know Senator Daines from Montana, Herschel Walker. Everybody's out there rooting for you, sir. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you.